I want to go back, though, real quick to the Ducks, because the point you made is that like the Ducks have a lot of talent and the Flyers don't seem to have as much. And that is accurate. I think from a pipeline standpoint, no one would argue that the Ducks have less talent. The Flyers have more talent than the Ducks in terms of prospect pipeline. The Ducks pipeline is stacked. This is actually like the Ducks. I know we argued yesterday about the Sharks. I think the Ducks are probably the better, like, apples to apples comparison of the different ways to do a rebuild, Flyers and Ducks, because the Ducks are very much not prioritizing culture and building around their young players. Their thought process is, let's just stockpile as many young players as possible, and eventually everybody will be good. But if anything, their development strategies seemingly haven't worked. Like, we've spent multiple shows really since January talking about how badly it seems like they screwed up Drysdale's development. He was a 6th overall pick, and now he's a reclamation project of sorts because the Ducks rushed him to the NHL. Trevor Zegras, like, as a rookie, like, was that his best? Was he best as a rookie? Was he the most exciting? And now he's stagnated. I think it'll be very interesting to see how these Ducks players develop, because it doesn't seem like the Ducks are doing, like, if the Ducks become good, it's going to be in spite of, not because of good development. And it's going to be an endorsement of the idea that all that really matters is just getting a lot of really talented young blue chip prospects and then be like, well, they'll figure it out because they're just that good. Whereas the Flyers are looking at it as, we want to get the most out of our prospects. We want to very much prioritize developing them in a competitive environment where they will have support from quality NHLers. Like, we just talked about it yesterday. Radko Gudas is probably going to be the Ducks fucking captain. I love Radko Gudas. He's not that good.
He's fine, but like, he's not. Yeah,
if he's the guy who you're seriously considering giving the captaincy to, you don't got much at the NHL level. You don't have a ton of options. You don't got much at the NHL level. And so what I'm saying is that we are going to see a head-to-head battle of whether culture matters a lot or whether culture doesn't matter much at all. Because the Ducks are going the route of culture doesn't matter that much at all. All that matters is stockpiling talent. They might be right. They very well could be right. They have a lot of freaking talent. I'm just saying that I am going to be very intrigued to measure the success of both of these rebuilding plans because they are so different in terms of what they are valuing in the rebuild.
Charlie, you know when this debate gets settled.
When?
The 2029 Stanley Cup Final.
When they play each other.
Michkov versus Gauthier.
Fair.
It is almost a foregone conclusion that these two teams will meet in the Stanley Cup Final, with Gauthier being, basically the newest version of Patrick Kane. So we'll see how that goes.
All I'm saying is that the Ducks have all this prospect talent, and that's great. Now we see if they can develop it.
And I will say, and I am not here to stick up for the Flyers rebuild.
Obviously.
I believe in some aspects of it. Other aspects, I think, leave something to be desired.
Sure.
But Owen Tippett, while it was in 2017, was a 10th overall pick. That is a guy with still some pretty high upside. Now, you can say, okay, this is what he is 2 years in a row, same goals, points total. There might be something else there. Also, he's already very good. That is something. You think a guy like Tyson Forster, he was taken 23rd. The Flyers very much believe he was underdrafted.
Right.
This is another one of those. Well, maybe they're right.
Right.
Maybe he does. Maybe his next level is 35 goals and some fucking Selke votes. Couldn't think of the award. I knew it wasn't Norris. But if that's the case, then maybe it's a little bit more comparable. But
they have a lot of talent.
I just wish
Ducks
the Flyers
have a lot of talent.
I just wish I had all these things that could be boats, Charlie.
Yeah.
That's what it comes down to.
A lot of maybe boats. They have a lot of, and it's not even that they have a lot of maybe boats. They have a lot of maybe yachts. They have a lot of maybe luxury liners.
Just one other guy. If we just still had Cutter, I think people would have a totally different view of this thing.
Yeah. Yeah. But again, that's when I speak to the idea of are you guys all underrating Drysdale?
I hope so. I very much hope I'm underrating Drysdale, because if not, this thing's going to take longer than I want it to. And I want it to take shorter so we can start talking about things other than the fucking Mighty Ducks.
I would enjoy talking about a team that has a legitimate chance of winning a Stanley Cup. Personally, I would find that enjoyable.
It would be nice.
We all silly like the mayor.